Alright, bro. So
Conscious Corey, welcome.
What's up, bro?
How you doing?
What up, people?
Hello.
So what are we doing here today?
Mate, you've got a YouTube channel, Conscious Corey, inspired me to create my own, which is Addiction Breakthrough Compassion. And mate, I've wanted to do an interview style video, so I wasn't just talking, you know. I had someone asking me some questions. So sometimes I get sick of the sound of my own voice. So hopefully your voice will break that up.
Alright, bro. Yeah, we'll mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Alright. So what do you want to get into first? Is there anything in particular, or should I just ask away?
Ask away, and if there's a question that I want you to ask me, I'll just.
Alright.
Yeah.
So where are you right now with addiction? Like, where are you at with it? What's your relationship with addiction?
What's my relationship with addiction? So there are other people who may consider that I'm in a state of addiction still, because I still use plant medicines and substances. But in my mind, I'm completely 100% clear of addiction. While I can use more substances than I've ever used, I have no addiction to them. I can carry around psilocybin, DMT. I can carry them around for 6, 7, 8 days without using them.
Yeah.
I would take you back to my days when I wasn't addict. I couldn't carry substances around with me for more than a minute before I used them.
Mm-hmm.
So
why do you think that is? Why, how? I mean, I guess, do you think if they were those old substances, you'd use them in a minute?
No, not at all, because I still use those substances. I've used meth 3 times in the last 6, 7 months.
Okay.
And I've used them with intention and within purpose. And the next day, I have no problem giving the rest away, not using it.
Okay, so what is purpose? Sorry to cut you off there, but what is purpose? Because people watching this are going to be like, he's doing meth, he's fucking crazy.
So then there was one night where I was with
By the way, I'm just a bystander.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm here.
You're sitting down. How can you be a bystander?
I'm a bystander. And I'm just chilling. Alright, so I'm just asking the questions. So don't come hitting me with no bullshit. Go to this dude. Alright,
So I was with a bunch of fantastic people, and they were using meth all night, and come 4 o'clock in the morning when I had to leave, I was incredibly tired, like possibly scared that if I got behind the wheel and drove, I could have fallen asleep. So I had 1 toke on a meth pipe, which completely woke me up, did not send me into any sort of...
couldn't just go for a coffee in that moment?
I think possibly could have, but I think at that state, that was the easiest and most powerful solution. It was definitely, I don't drive in an unsafe state.
Yeah.
So 1 toke of meth completely woke me up, and I was able to drive to where I needed to go. And without that scattered feeling, I was able to go to sleep a few hours later.
So you spent the whole night without touching it?
Yeah, without touching
when
it.
Everyone else was?
Yeah, everyone else was.
So
and they offered a couple
that would be the sign of someone that's no longer, like, I mean, that's pretty hard to do.
Previously it would have been hard to do, but now that I'm not in an addictive state, it was piece of pie.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like they were reluctant to invite me over because they knew I was clean, and I was like, no guys, I'm fine. You know, I might even partake. And a couple times through the night, they were like, hey, you gonna... I'm like, yeah, when I get to it, whatever. And then they were like, dude, you said you need to leave at 4. It's nearly 4. Are you gonna go, or what are you doing? Oh, yeah, I'll go, but yeah, I just might have a quick toke to wake me up, and then I'll be gone. Mm-hmm. So...
How do you think psychedelics have helped you?
They broke me down. They broke me down to bits and pieces of who I am, who I want to be, who I was, and they made me rebuild that. So my first night on an Acacia trip, I was completely broken down, and I had to analyze all my relationships, my family relationships, my friendships, and in the breakdowns of those relationships, it was shown to me the path that led to those breakdowns. So I did this, then they did that, then I did this, and where I felt I was wronged, I learned to forgive the person for those wrongdoings. And where I wronged others, I had to learn to forgive myself for wronging others. And then 32 years in a state of addiction, one night of acacia, next morning woke up with the most amazing inner peace that I've felt for years. And I was like, oh, shit, I think that addictive state is really, really subsiding.
Can you go deeper into what that piece was that you felt?
So I equated it to, when I was about 20, I was a bartender, then a bar manager, and I was smooth around the bar. And I can remember a night where we're completely understaffed, 3 tills have gone down, one of the beer fonts is broken, and I didn't care. I was in a flow state, I was dealing with everything one after another, and then I got a phone call from my girlfriend where she was distraught with something, and I was just at peace with my job and my relationship were falling down around me,
Yeah.
and I was at complete peace with it.
So when you say you were at peace,
Yep.
the voice that's, you know how we've all got a voice
Yeah,
in our
yeah.
mind that's constantly talking, was that voice still giving you problems?
No, the voice was giving me guidance. It was like,
So
okay.
it was helping you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like, okay, you've got 4 problems at hand at the moment. Probably best if you deal with this one first, then deal with that one, then deal with that one. And it was just a calm and peaceful way to deal with a lot of problems that arose at once.
Mm-hmm.
And that peace, I loved that peace. And I'd probably, at that stage, I'd gambled a bit too much here and there, but I hadn't really entered a serious state of addiction at that stage. So that inner peace was still around me at times.
How old were you when you first ever tried, you know? I mean, we're all addicted in some form.
Yeah.
Not all of us, but you know, most of us are.
Yep.
All kind of running from something.
Yeah.
I think that's why we get addicted to things. I think we find a certain peace in things, so we just like keep seeking that, because left in a room without anything, most of us would go pretty crazy.
Yeah, yep.
But then some of us would just be at peace.
At peace,
with that,
yeah, 100%.
Because my one of my family members was in quarantine for a few weeks because they just got back from overseas.
Yeah.
And they had to be in a room for 2 weeks, and I was saying how like depressing it was and all this stuff. Like, if that was me, man, I would have like spent as much time meditating.
Yeah, 100%.
Just being aware of just awareness, just spending time and experiencing.
Yep.
You know,
100%.
you've got like, because you like, it's very rare when the external world can confirm that for you. You know, it's like the external world is like giving you a free retreat.
Yeah.
Go chill out for 2 weeks.
And yeah,
They're like a monk's dream.
Yeah,
Monks are going on holidays just for monks are going on holidays just for quarantine. That's why they're going on holiday.
Bloody monks.
Bro, yeah, man.
So, man, there was a chance I might have had to go to quarantine a couple of months ago, and I was like, oh, please, 2 weeks of meditation and exercise in my room and yoga. Whoa, I'm going to come out of there a legit superstar.
Yeah, like Noel 2.0. Oh, that'd be legendary, bro.
Yeah. So, man, I reckon my first point of addiction was probably when I was around 10. For some reason, up until the end of grade 4, my homework was the first thing I did when I got home. And if I had 100 words to write, I'd write 1,000. Like, I got home, I just hammered out my homework and did a heap of it. And then grade 5, for some reason, all I wanted to do was come home and watch TV. I did not, like, my mum or dad had to literally stand over my shoulder to make sure I did my homework. And I've only just started to understand why that massive shift came about. And that's because in those school holidays, I had they weren't even that serious, but there were some very confusing things that happened with my parents that I just didn't understand.
Okay.
And so that was my first entry into addiction. I think I was about 10, and instead of being addicted to homework, I was addicted to TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in like a real laughy mood right now.
I'll laugh at my pain, please.
Yeah. So if I laugh, it's not because I'm laughing at you.
Yeah, you're laughing.
So you know, I'm just laughing.
You're laughing at my addiction.
I'm just laughing. Let's just keep it at that. I'm just laughing. So do you want to go deeper onto that? Deeper with that, or?
I mean, just a couple of things with my parents. There was an incident with my mum. She used to do this thing when she thought we were lying. It was like, hey, poke out your tongue. It's black. You're lying. And there was an instance, I'm pretty sure it was in those school holidays, where I did that quite smugly because I knew I was telling the truth. 100% knew I was telling the truth. And when she said it's black, I was like, whoa, it can't be. I'm telling the truth. She's like, it's black, go to your room. Or something along those lines. So...
What does that make you feel like you want to do? Like how did that affect you later on?
I thought I was insane.
Yeah.
I thought my mum, this picture of Catholicism, this picture of always tell the truth, is lying to me to prove a point that I'm lying.
Yeah.
So I basically think I'm insane.
It made you think that you're the one that's got problems.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it made me think that, fuck.
For lack of a better word.
For
lack of sensitivity.
Are you sensitive?
I am a sensitive man.
Yeah, you are. And that's why I love you. So it made me think...
He said he loved me. I feel good now. Yeah.
It made me think, fuck.
Yeah.
Maybe I did do it. And
okay.
it really did make me think that. But now, looking at that now at my age, I can see that Mum sincerely thought I was lying. And
now that you can look back on it.
And now that I can look back on
I
it.
noticed that's the thing with... Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Like, I've noticed that, like, people who are addicted,
Yep.
it's because, like, in a normal state with clean veins, with clean everything, they have this underlying feeling that there's something wrong. Like, they can't relax. Like, I can't relax. I can't be at peace right now. And there's something why, like this comedian that I watch, he used to have a look
His
at
name
addictions.
is?
Theo Von.
Theo
Von. Fuck, he's a legend, man. Check him out, ladies and gentlemen. But he was saying like his whole life he's just always felt like there's something wrong. Like, so he's always had to be preoccupying himself with something. Like, he's always had to have some kind of distraction because he's just never felt like something bad's about to happen. Like, you know that feeling you feel when you think something bad's about to happen?
Yeah.
Like, imagine that 24/7.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, back to you.
Yeah, so it made me think that, I was insane. And another incident that happened that my dad handed out a few hidings in his day, but 9 out of 10 of those hidings were when he caught us doing something wrong.
Yeah.
There was another incident where every Saturday morning we'd do the Saturday morning cartoons, and I'd be lying down with my legs under the couch, and he'd walk past me 50 times in this position and not batted an eyelid. But this one morning he just kicked the shit out of me. So I didn't understand that. I didn't understand it. I still think it's wrong if you beat a kid when they're doing something wrong, but it's possibly more wrong if you beat them for just nothing more than the fact that you're in a bad mood. Now, my dad raised 14 kids, so I love my dad for all the mistakes he made and all the positives he instilled in me, but it was tough copping that beating when I didn't understand why.
Yeah.
So those two things possibly, and it was more the confusion around them than the actual beating itself. So what? And honestly, I started questioning myself a lot when I knew I'd done the right thing. I was like, did I really do that? Because poke out your tongue is black. It can be confusing.
It can question your own worth. It can lead you to question your own value and your own worth. Because, like, you're pretty much putting it all in the hands of someone else. And I mean, we are, until we realise we don't have to. There comes a point in life when you realise, oh wait, I can choose my value. I can be my own father, my own mother. I can be that for myself. But you have to, otherwise you just, like, that's how you're brought up into the world.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yep.
Like, how else are you going to learn to wipe your own ass and do things,
Yeah. And then with that, one of the famous sayings in our household was little children should be seen and not heard.
Yeah.
So with that being the youngest of 14,
Mm.
I was the littlest, so my attitude was I should be heard the least. So that made me to feel as though I was ignored a lot of my childhood. And yeah, I feel as though now that I chose to be ignored because it was easier to be ignored than to be in the spotlight. So yeah, man, we're all growing, we're all learning, and you know, I hope we're learning. I hope I'm learning.
What do you think you've learned from those things?
I've learned that they possibly were the starting point to a path to addiction. They didn't have to be. I could have manned up, analysed them for what they were then, and broken down then, but I didn't have the skill set to do that then.
Mm.
So I possibly identified those couple of things as the first steps on my path to addiction.
Yeah.
So I've learned now that they weren't the traumatic experiences that I made them out to be. Or they didn't have to be the traumatic experiences that I made them out to be. And you know, maybe with a little bit more understanding and maybe standing up to my mum and saying, hey, fuck you, I'm telling the truth and I know it. And you know, standing up to my dad, which would have been a daunting task, going, hey, prick, you want to go? Let's fight. Why'd you kick the shit out of me for no reason?
Mm.
You know?
Are your parents still around?
No, Dad's been gone, 26 years and Mum 15, so they're still around.
Yeah.
They're still around,
yeah.
but yeah.
But not in human form.
No, not in human form. So then when I really think I entered sorry to my family, not sorry. I'm speaking my truth now. I've danced around this for a long time. And after you have shown very little concern for me, I'm doing this from a place of healing. And I'm doing this from a place of trying to help others. Not from a narcissistic place, which you accused me of over the weekend. So, the age of 15, my darling sister, I'm changing everyone's name here for their anonymity.
I mean, you can just speak what
Yeah.
happened if you want.
Yep, so
Like you don't really have to name people if you don't want to.
So at the age of 15, everyone in the family.
And by the way, I'm just asking questions.
I want
Because I'm trying to stay cool with the whole fam.
I want no responsibility for my answers. It's all his questions.
Blame YouTube. Just write it. Yeah.
So the age of 15, everyone in my family received a letter detailing the sexual abuse my father put my sisters through. But one of my brothers deemed at the age of 15 I was too young to receive that letter, so he intercepted. And I never knew. Now I don't think it's a coincidence that 12 months later my dad was dead. You know, so, and especially from liver cancer. Because liver is responsible as a cleansing organ of the body, and when you've got that much shame, it's very hard to cleanse your body.
Mm.
So there were whispers around sexual abuse and that, but at the age of 15, I don't want to fucking know. I don't care. I just want to live. So then it was the age of 24. So at the age of 24, I'd amassed about $1 million in wealth through share portfolio and property portfolio. And boom, about 4 days after my girlfriend has an abortion, my sister drops into my life to say, hey, your dad was a sexual predator. He molested your 3 elder sisters. And so, if I had maybe received that information when I was 15, I don't think I would have been in a state to amass that sort of wealth. Because I reckon I would have entered a really heavy addictive state from the age of 15. But at the age of 24, that is when I turned from someone who gambled a little bit too much too oftenly to a gambling junkie. Over the next 6 years, that $1 million went directly to the Broncos Leagues Club through their pokie machine and the Brisbane Casino through their blackjack tables. So, at the age of 24, and I hated my sister for destroying the memory of my father like that. I despised her for 2 years. So the age of 16, just before my dad died, this is completely on me. I had a spoiled shithead brat of a moment on a football field where he basically told me I was a disgrace. And he was not wrong. What I did was disgraceful. I was just a spoiled brat who thought I deserved better. But then 2 weeks later, I'm telling him, no, you wait and see. I will prove you wrong. I've learned from that and it won't happen again. Then 2 months later, he's dead. I never got a chance to prove him wrong. So from the age of 16 to 24, I really disliked myself because I didn't fulfill the potential that my father saw in me. So I'd go to bed, I was a bartender, I was a DJ, I was loving life, but I wasn't fulfilling that potential that my father saw in me. So I really disliked myself. Yeah. Now at the age of 24, this man who I put gold in his word, I find out that he was a child molester, and worse than a child molester, someone who molests his own children. I really analysed the relationship I had with him, and it wasn't that positive. And I analysed a lot of things. And, it was funny, I was really brokenhearted when my girlfriend had an abortion. I encouraged her to have it. And I really thought I was I thought I was anti-abortion. It was like, no, we shouldn't kill babies, etc. Then when 7 months later, another girl tells me that she's pregnant, without thinking, the first words that come out of my mouth are get rid of it. And I'm wondering again, as with the homework situation, why was there that massive shift going from abortion is wrong to fucking get rid of it? And that's because I completely analysed the relationship I had with my father, and I decided I didn't want to be a dad. So there's a couple of massive mind shifts there. And if you've had that sort of mind shift, a massive mind shift in a short period of time, I'm going to say there's some sort of trauma attached to that. I'm going to guess that. I could be wrong. Could be right.
Or some kind of peace found.
Awesome peace found,
something really good or something really bad.
Something really good or something really bad. Yep. Perfect. This is why I wanted to do this with you. Because of golden nuggets like that. So, yes, just had my family Christmas party over the weekend. I think in the history of the event, which has been running since my mum passed away in 2005, I think I'm just about the only one to be completely uninvited. Sorry?
Christmas has only been going since 2005.
Oh no, that event.
Oh, okay, I was like, what?
Yeah,
I was definitely younger.
No, so, because mum was the
Was your mum Santa Claus by any chance? I'm sorry.
She only came once a year, so
Right. That was really good.
Or really bad. So,
we can block that, we can take that.
Oh no, we can't. We can, but I don't want to.
Oh shit.
So, Mum was the centerpiece of the family around Christmas time, and Christmas, the main focus point on Christmas Day was her place. So after she passed, we decided to have an event a couple of weeks before Christmas, because everyone wanted to start doing their own things on Christmas Day. So we've had this a week and a half, 2 weeks before Christmas. We've had this event that's been, anywhere up from 40 to 100 people. It's cousins, friends, a family, and it changes. The venue changes every year, or most years. And this year it was held at one of my sisters and niece's place. They got properties that back onto each other, and it was held between the two of them. I think I wasn't invited. No, I was invited. Said I would go, then said maybe I wouldn't go, then said, hey, don't know if I'll be able to hold my tongue, probably won't go. And then it was made clear to me that I wasn't welcome there. That was, it was expected in a way, but it was also quite hurtful.
Yeah.
After I said I wouldn't go, I rethought it and thought, okay, people don't want to speak to me, I understand that. So what I wanted to do was go drop off some presents, do some fire twirling and some drumming,
Be the cool uncle.
be the cool uncle, and then disappear.
Yeah.
But then when I put some feelers out to a couple of my brothers, one of them led to about a 3-hour conversation with him where I feel as though we understand him better. Absolutely beautiful man, as most of my brothers. So it was made clear to me then that no, I was not welcome in any way, shape or form. And I think the words were used that I would be escorted from the property if, and I'm like, see these guns?
Yeah, bro.
You want to escort me from the property, you better have 6 of these because I'll fuck every one of these up. Like BJJ, kickboxing, boxing, I've been doing it all.
Telekinesis.
Telekinesis.
Can you just like move people with your mind?
Yeah.
That-
No, I'm moving with my words.
yeah.
Yeah, not here. It's like, hey, come over here and I'll touch your little thing. They run the other way. Yeah. So, and I didn't do that. I didn't want to do that. I try not to believe in violence. So, I respected that. Unfortunately, though, it led me to a conversation with my sister where I was like, hey, am I not welcome? And she was like, no, you're not. Are you falling asleep?
I'm meditating.
Oh,
No, I'm not falling asleep. I'm listening. Listening.
so, yeah, no, I regret the tone of that conversation because I just wanted clarity that I wasn't welcome from the custodian of the property that the party was being held at. And it got heated. People say I abused her, and if you want to take it that way, it did. But you know, I've had many conversations with this lady, and they've never turned into abuse before. But it was definitely heated.
Yeah.
I was not appreciative of the fact that I'd been uninvited, unwelcomed, and told I'd be escorted off the property if I turned up. Now, last time I checked, my surname was still O'Rourke. This was an O'Rourke family function, and as an O'Rourke, I was not welcome. So yeah, that was tough, but understandable. And yeah, some other things have arose from that weekend that are amazing and others terrible, but yeah. That's your cue to ask a question.
That's my turn to ask a question.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, man.
How are you so good looking?
Good looking.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a forward cap.
Oh, speaking of caps, yeah.
I think it's a forward hat. Really.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. You got your little colour on.
Yeah, you got my colour. We got the light.
How we go, bro?
Spin it, spin it, spin it.
Spare. Oh wait, no. This is the proper way to do it. I'm not trying to. Block.
Oh, you blew me. Yeah.
So yeah, bro. You got the dark and the light here.
Yeah. To know our power for good, I think we also have to know our power for evil. I mean, Dr. Jordan Peterson.
I just remembered a quote. Quickly say before I forget
Yeah.
it. So they say that I gotta remember first. I don't know if I
Okay.
actually remember it. Give me a sec. Yeah, give me some like binaural beats.
Well.
They say that someone who is capable of great violence, but no, I forget. I forget the quote.
Well, man, Jordan Peterson, fantastic psychologist, puts it as this: a human being's capability is from God to the devil.
Yes.
And if you are just from,
You can't truly call yourself peaceful unless you're capable of great violence. If you're not capable of great violence, you're not peaceful, you're harmless. Yeah.
exactly the same.
That can be misinterpreted in a lot of ways, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
But yeah, sorry, keep going with what
Yep.
you're saying though. What were you saying about?
So from God to the devil. So if you can only work in the good to God, that's good God. You drop the O, you've got good for God.
Yeah.
Devil, evil, evil, drop the D, you've got evil, devil. Interesting tidbit. So if you're going to only operate sort of from good to God.
Gave us a tip. Do you usually
Just the
give the tip?
Yeah, just the tip. Anything else can be painful.
Yeah.
So good to God, you're not good, you're naive.
Okay.
You're naively good. So if you know your capacity for evil and you choose to do good, then that's operating in the light, not the dark.
Mm-hmm.
But if you know your opportunity, you know your potential for light, and you operate in the dark, that's the shadow. So that's the shadow. So to know I wear two hats a lot. That's my Darth Maul cap.
Wait. Stop recording.
Oh.
Why did it stop recording? Hold up. Intermission.
Intermission.
Technical difficulties. So it's split up into two. I'm just not sure why it stopped recording.
Okay.
What should we do?
I don't know, man. You're the tech advisor.
You're picking booze.
We've still got it going on this the whole time.
I'm the tech advisor, am I? Yeah, I've been covered by the bloody camera leg on this one. But that's alright though. I'll just restart it, I guess.
Yeah.
Not restart the whole interview, but
Yeah.
I mean, we can start from
No.
wherever we want. No.
I'd like to start.
Yeah. We can do segments if you want, like in this.
Yeah, we
This could
can.
be the video about light and dark.
Yeah. How long is it? 33 minutes. Yeah.
Pretty decent.
Pretty decent.
Pretty decent.
Are we recording again?
I mean, that's on, but we don't have to be.
Oh, yeah.
What do you want to give the people? Your dark side or your light? Or a bit of both?
Bit of both. So it's, yeah, I have, which I've shown, I have great potential for dark. If we run through them, I've been violent with 3 female partners in my life. Yeah, they've been mainly in self-defense or retaliation, but that's just about as dark as it gets. I don't believe in the story that you shouldn't hit a woman, because in the equality purposes, that identifies them as a weaker sex. And I try to believe and I failed many times, I try to believe you just shouldn't hit anyone. Name me a good reason for violence other than self-defense. But if there's no violent act in the first place, there would be no need for self-defense. So I don't believe in that adage, I've stolen money from so many people to feed a gambling addiction, and then I stole money later in life to feed a methamphetamine addiction. So I have an amazing capacity for darkness. Now, flip side of that, over the last couple of weeks, I've come into a bit of wealth through my investment strategy in cryptocurrency, and I'm giving a shitload of wealth away. Giving it away to strangers, giving it away to friends, not really family because they're not speaking to me. But so
They might now.
Huh?
They might now.
They might. Yeah, funny that.
Yeah. Fancy this.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't speak to you. You have money? No, my family aren't really like that. I was actually, when Mum passed away, there were a lot of fights over the will. And I expected that, but they were different fights. So I was like, hey, no, you have this. No, I've got enough. I was really proud of my family at that time because so many things were just, no, please, you have it. And the money was spread evenly, but the possessions, there were fights. And it was like, you have it. No, you have it. No. And I was really proud. So my family is not money hungry like that at all. So yeah, I have a great capacity for evil and a great capacity for good, and I'm trying to be in the good now. Yeah, I still delve into evil a bit, but when you're continually getting called out by your family, sometimes you have to defend yourself.
Yeah.
Or you choose to defend yourself.
Yeah.
Now, mate, the problem with, okay, so I've been lucky enough to find a cure, my cure for addiction through plant medicine. But plant medicine has a lot of stigma attached to it because it's illegal or it's not mainstream. Now, I'm not sure where I'd be without plant medicine, but I'm pretty sure I'd still be in a heavy state of addiction. So seeing that 90% of people are in some form of addiction, I've got out of addiction, I'd be an arsehole if I didn't want to help others out of it.
Yeah.
Now,
So what's your vision now?
my vision now.
What's your vision with this channel?
This channel, addiction, breakthrough, compassion. So breaking through addiction and then being compassionate towards others in addiction. So with me trying to help others out of addiction, the easiest way is just lead them to plant medicine because that's what helped me. But with not many
Do you think that'll help everyone though? Because like,
I honestly think it could.
Because the same meditation technique, for example, that worked on me could not work for someone else, you know?
Yep, definitely. But then where were you at when you started your meditation?
I was in a pretty shitty headspace.
Okay, so we only change when the discomfort of staying where we are is worse than the discomfort of changing.
Yeah.
So if someone's willing to change and we throw plant medicine at them, yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm yet to meet anyone who I've met a couple of hundred people on the plant medicine journey. I'm yet to meet someone who goes, fuck that, it was fucked. There's one girl who came to a 2-night retreat and on day 2 she was like, you know what? I think I got what I needed out of last night. I reckon I'm okay. I reckon I'm on the right path. I don't think I need to do this anymore. And even people who have had terrible experiences while on plant medicine, a week or 2 later they've gone, shit, don't know why, but my life is a lot clearer.
Yeah.
I've got more positivity in my life now.
Yeah.
So I'm yet to meet anyone who's had nothing but negative from plant medicines.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's the easiest way. You want to help
even
with
people
addiction?
that had a negative experience.
Yep.
Or something good always comes out of it. Like I read that in like a study somewhere that something always good
Something always
comes out of it. Like because they did like a test or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Some people with, like I think
That's
it was psilocybin.
Yep.
And yeah, I think like the first time I ever experimented with psilocybin, I was
You
like,
use psilocybin?
yeah, I
You
have.
fucking drive
Yeah.
out.
No, like I didn't use it. I was just had it next to me.
Yeah. Okay.
Otherwise, that would be illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually wasn't picked up from. I didn't pick it from the ground yet.
Yeah. Right,
So
yeah.
nothing illegal. I just kind of sat in its presence and
That's powerful.
I started to elevate off the ground. I was levitating.
Elevate your mind.
I ain't trying to waste your time. Yeah. I just wanna elevate your mind. Yeah, I haven't listened to that.
Open up your
ages.
heart chakra.
Open up your heart chakra.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
We'll post a link to that song later. That's me.
That's a song
Yeah.
that my mate Paul showed me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What a legend.
Yeah.
Love that man.
Yeah. Shout out to Paul.
Shout out to Paul. You know who you are. Peace.
Paul Walker. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Nah, actually that's not. He was really awesome though.
Paul Walker.
Yeah, like I have a dream of just I just want to go. I want to get the same skyline. That was what he had, right? In like the first Fast and Furious, the first one. He had like that
Yeah.
silver skyline.
I haven't seen it.
It was beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I want to go to Japan and just. Oh, sorry. I know this is not meant to be. I know we're meant to be talking about addiction and shit right now.
Oh,
I
I'm
wanna
addicted
go
to
to-
Paul Walker, so
Yeah, he's a legend, eh?
stunning man.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning.
Yeah, bro, he's a legend. Yeah, I want to go to Japan and just like meet a drift
Skyline.
team there and
Yeah,
just like
right.
go to like the top island of Japan. You can literally go to there's actual like drift teams there in the top island of Japan and you can just like in Hokkaido and you can just learn to drift.
Yeah, right.
That'd be so sick, man.
That would.
Yeah, anyway.
See, I feel as though I've got the golden goose. I've got a way out of addiction. Plant medicine is the easiest way, but I'm trying to develop a way out of it without plant medicine. And that, for me is talking about trauma. Trauma you've inflicted, trauma that's been inflicted on you, trauma in other people that you've witnessed. So with a majority of people not wanting to speak about trauma, it's very difficult to do that. And my plan was just come out, name everything, mention it. Yep, trauma's fucked. This is what it's done to me. Clear yourself of trauma, you become free from addiction. But then my family started getting nervous. Well, do not mention the sexual abuse within our family. So I had to try to be compassionate towards that. And I danced around it a bit. I've mentioned it a little bit, danced around it. And so my family is saying, hey, be compassionate towards our needs. But then, they think I'm in a high state of suicidal tendency. And yet the worst thing you can do to someone suicidal, I'm not anymore, by the way. I haven't been since April 19. The worst thing you can do to someone, in my experience, is say, hey, fuck off. Get out of our fucking family. We don't want you. We don't want your bullshit. That could be the worst thing you could do to someone who's suicidal. They think I'm suicidal. They did that to me. So they've shown me they have very little compassion to where I'm at. They're telling me, hey, be compassionate to where we're at. But they're showing me very little compassion. And this isn't a tit for tat. This is, hey, I've wanted to speak about the trauma in our family for the last 3 or 4 months.
What's stopping you from just speaking it truthfully?
Trying to be compassionate towards my family. They think I'm being narcissistic, but I've been mostly compassionate because there's some people who are really scared about the repercussions it might cause by mentioning what my father did. And all I've seen in talking about that stuff is nothing but healing. Like, I'm yet to meet someone who has gone the plant medicine journey and see it negatively. I'm yet to meet someone who's dealt with the trauma they've inflicted, the trauma they've witnessed, and that I've only ever seen that cause healing in my circles. And so, and so it's been a conundrum. What do I do? What's the best path to take here?
What's your heart calling for? Like, cause I feel like we're just using a lot of logic, man. What do you feel? Like,
man, that's why we're here now. Cause, man, I honestly feel the quickest path out of addiction is plant medicine. It worked wonders for me.
Okay.
The next biggest path, if you can't take that one, is identifying and dealing with your childhood trauma. When Gabor Mate, a god in the addiction world, identified 10,000 patients he saw in 10 years in the most affected areas of Canada, 10,000 patients. It's about 6,000 females. One out of those 6,000 females, only one, had not suffered sexual abuse as a child. So that's pretty damning evidence, in my opinion. Yes, he could be wrong, but that's pretty powerful evidence in my mind. So dealing with trauma is a massive key out of addiction. And I know someone in my I know someone who is incredibly obese, absolutely beautiful man, incredibly obese.
I mean, the second part's right of that. The second part of what you just said is right.
Yeah.
Incredibly beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, but I don't know if I'm obese.
Yeah, no, you're obese in a mindset.
Okay, yeah.
You're not in a body set.
No.
So, and he's quick to point the finger at others in their addictive state, especially me. He did it to me, called me out on my meth abuse, and actually was quite an integral part of me starting my healing from meth abuse in 2017. Now, when you look at the trauma that he's been subjected to, his wife upped with the dogs, the 2 kids, and moved 1,000 kilometers away to be with her stepfather. So now she's married to her stepfather. So I cannot imagine what that would do to someone. So, that's pretty horrific. and he's dealt with it as best he could, which sometimes I can't believe. I'm like, bro, why are you standing and laughing? You should be on the ground in a heap, crying, bawling your eyes out. But he wasn't, man. He was a tower of strength through that. But also coming out the other side, you know, he's amazingly beautiful man, but strongly in the throes of addiction, and can very quickly point out others' addiction, but struggles to root his own, I feel. And that's just what I feel. And when, it's enough about him. So,
you know, I found something powerful to do.
What's that?
Is like when we see that in other people, reflect it and look at how you could be doing that in your life.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
Because it's easy to judge other people and like,
So
oh, you're there, I'm here, this is what you're doing wrong. Not saying you're doing that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think it's a really powerful practice, like for personal development.
Yep.
To kind of like, just really shine that back on us and be like, hey, where can we be doing that in our lives?
Yeah, 100%.
But I hear you.
And there's someone else I know at the moment who's recently suffered a heart attack, and relatively fit man for his age. And someone suggested to me, they were like, hey, so you know what stress can do to the body and the mind. Do you maybe think that you speaking about all this shit has possibly helped this heart attack along? I'm like, have I considered that? Yeah, considered and whatever. Because if he's feeling, if it's shone the light on him and he's got some shame around the family trauma that there's been, well, yeah, I don't feel any shame to all the negative things I've done because I've confronted them and dealt with them. So, if you've done something wrong and you feel shame attached to it, and that causes stress, that's your cross to bear, I feel. I can help with those crosses by simply explaining my experiences.
Only if they want your help though, right?
Exactly, only if they want. And if they don't want my help, well...
It sounds like a lot of these people that you're focusing on don't want your help.
No, they don't. They don't. But they're still very, very quick to turn around and judge me for where I'm at.
Why don't you just let them?
Oh, I do. Like,
yeah.
I do to a point, but then I start getting, oh, fuck you. You want to point the finger at me? Well, how about we turn around and point the finger at you? You know, so...
What is that like? How do you feel about that, doing that? Like, does it...
It's never positive, and there's no...
It's okay if it's negative, like, I'm not coming from a standpoint of morality or anything like that, but I'm just saying, to your energy, what does that do to your energy?
There's normally regret afterwards, and, oh, fuck, I could have done that better. And where I've done that better is where I've meditated, thought about the process of, hey, how do I get this message across? And then done it that way. But when I've acted in a knee-jerk reaction, that's when it's normally a negative thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but meditation is key. Yoga is key. Meditation and yoga have been mindset, massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and
like
once again,
things.
This man here is the man, and I call him a man, my man. He is the one who inspired me to my YouTube channel and a path of meditation. And he did it with nothing but encouragement. There wasn't you should fucking meditate, man. You're a mess. You need to meditate. It was, oh, bro, meditation has been amazing for me. And man, I cannot thank you enough for that.
No worries, bro. How can you do that? Like that's what you can do now, because there's been these things that have helped you grow.
Yeah.
Like plant medicine and yoga and meditation, all of these things, simply by just like embodying that and just speaking your truth, you're going to naturally help other people. Because I wasn't trying to get you to meditate. Like, Like I was just like, oh bro, I was just sharing where I was at.
Yeah.
You know, I was just sharing how I felt. So you're doing a good thing by having a YouTube channel. I reckon focus on what has helped you and just sharing that.
Yeah.
But I reckon focus less on like trying to change other people and even reacting.
Yeah, reacting is not good.
Like, I mean, like, yeah, because it comes to a point where you can't stop yourself from reacting, but notice the one, like, who is the one that's offended right now? Who is the one that gets angry? Just let that, kind of just, like, see if you can just let yourself feel that hurt without reacting.
Yeah.
That's a powerful spiritual practice. You feel it,
Yep.
and you often feel light afterwards, like,
Yeah.
after, because it's almost like really a constructed identity, so that kind of, what they say kind of challenges it and almost like damages it, and you can just like let that part of you die because it's not serving you anyway.
Yep.
But if you feed it and you keep it alive by reaction, then it can like...
The old Indian adage of there's two wolves inside of you, the calm one and the angry one. Well, they're in battle. Which one's going to win? The one you feed.
Yeah, I love that. That's so powerful.
And yeah, I have fed that angry one. I'm trying to feed the calm one a lot more. But yeah, getting offended. It's funny that you mentioned getting offended, because my darling sister, I will mention her name, Laura Bernadette. She served me some verbal medicine when she said, no, that is your trigger. You can't blame him for your trigger. That's your trigger. You have to take control of that. I was like, whoa, shit. If we take control of our own triggers, how are we to get offended?
Yeah.
So,
really, you're just taking responsibility for life.
For your life.
Yeah, you're taking responsibility for your life.
So, I get triggered when people ignore me. So, I used to get triggered when people ignore me. But when I identify that, hey, that's my problem, not theirs, it triggers me a hell of a lot less now.
Yeah.
So, and there's other triggers that I have that when I identify them, they're a lot easier to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
But then in the same way, in this phone call with a sister the other day, she said, "You make me so angry." No, I don't. You make you angry. I'm just talking.
Yeah.
You make me angry, then you make me happy. Yeah, so it's, oh, wonderful. This life of ours. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Wild. Yeah.
I was thinking about that yesterday. Life.
Life.
Yeah, man. Just life.
Life. Death. Yeah. Birth. Rebirth. Re-death. Death.
Tacos and bongos.
My name is Jennifer Lopez, and I like tacos and burritos.
I haven't seen that.
No,
wait, is that South Park?
South Park.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I love South. I used to watch South Park a lot. I used to watch that.
I'm not fat. I'm big boned.
Yeah.
Yes, fantastic. South Park is up there with Rick and Morty. I love The Simpsons, but I never really got into them fully.
Yeah. Have you seen The Midnight Gospel?
Oh my god!
Have you seen it?
I've seen about the first 4 episodes. It's intense, man.
How crazy. It gets so much more spiritual at the end.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, my partner absolutely loved it.
Yeah. That's
Mighty Boosh?
that rings a bell.
Oh, man.
That's not a cartoon though, is it?
No, it's...
Yeah.
No, Noel Fielding and... Yeah, fantastic, amazing. It's funny, his name's Noel Fielding, but his character in the show is Vince Navarro, Vince someone, and it's like Noel and Vince. That's the youngest 2 people in my 14 family. Yeah, Noel and Vince.
Damn.
Yeah.
The Mighty Boosh.
The Mighty
Based
Boosh.
on you. Based on you and the bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and it's interesting because it's funny, there's 10 boys in the family, and we're all sort of paired in 2s, you know, and it's like we're the polar opposites. Like the eldest 2, complete polar opposites.
Really?
The youngest 2, complete polar opposites. And, you know...
Every time I've heard you talk about your family, it's always been like a lot of love.
Yeah, there is a lot of love.
Like I always sense a lot of love there.
Yeah, there is. I mean, they had a massive contribution in making me the person I am today, for good or for worse. My 4 sisters are all absolutely so different, the 4 of them, but all amazing in their own individual way. one of my sisters are just, all of them, they're just mind-blowingly amazing. And in elements, mind-blowingly terrible as
Yeah.
well. But
That yin and that yang, the
yin
balance.
and yang,
Balance.
yin and yang, yeah.
Like, it wouldn't be right to give you good without a little bit of bad.
Yeah, that's right. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can.
I mean, you can. Can if you want.
I feel as though I need to take off here. So.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't know, where are we at, man?
Where are we at? How long has this been?
It's been an hour.
Been an hour. So,
It's been an hour, but the video's cut out, so it's probably going to be... Like, I
Yeah.
can put it all together.
Yeah.
I could probably put it all together.
Yeah, we'll work it out. But the one thing, is there anything else I want to say? Is there anything else you want to ask?
Not really, like, I feel like I'm not too sure. It's got a cool pattern on it. That's sick. 3 dogs.
Sitting here rocking with my conscious Corey.
Well,
Well,
grab your instrument. This is what you've been doing at the drum service.
oh no, I never made it to a drum circle actually.
Oh, I've been wanting to go to one for ages.
Yeah, awesome, man. I've just been doing a lot of drumming and fire twirling on the beach at night.
That's cool.
Even a little bit of didge playing, but
Dub ditch.
no, I've got one that's about this big. It's not really a didge, it's a
Okay.
mini didge that's pretty ordinary. So, bit of didge playing that's.
Can you do the blow? No.
I know. I've got to put about 2 hours aside to get the circular breathing,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's gonna be.
How do you do it? You'd make a good like lion, bro.
Rah, rah.
But you're
I actually had an amazing mushroom journey at Pomona.
yeah. I miss Pomona, bro.
Yeah, on a Sunday night, where I completely embodied a lion.
Really?
Yeah, and I was out in the wild. Got confronted by about 10 cows in the dark, and all I can see is their big little eyes. And I'm like, ah!
Really?
And they just scattered. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was full lion that night. Happy rebirth day. That was a flow state I was in with a lovely girl that night, Amanda.
Who?
Amanda.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was went full lion.
When was this? How long ago was this?
Oh, it's
A recent one or?
It's September-ish.
Oh, okay. I wasn't there.
No, I don't think so. No, it was the one. So the last one we did together was Namimba.
Yeah.
And then it was the one after that, September-ish, which
Okay.
all right.
Yeah.
Been an absolute pleasure, sir. Conscious Corey, check out his YouTube. Inspiration behind so much of the person I am today is right here. Conscious Corey, my brother, thank you very much.
Right. Much love.
Maybe there'll be an episode 2 in a couple
I think
of
there
weeks.
needs to be an episode 2. I think
Episode
we
2.
scraped the surface here, but
Yeah,
I want to
right.
go a lot deeper.
Alrighty.
I want to go a lot deeper.